Hello, my environment conscious friends. Are you ready to boycott Starbucks? Yes, what I am saying, I actually mean it. Why I'm saying this is that if you know that the Starbucks CEO has recently been changed because it was facing some losses in the near past, and what happened to be the case is that they have accepted a CEO who is going to take over the operations of the company, but they are giving him a extremely environment damaging perks, which is quite crazy. And if you go on to listen about it, I am sure that some of you have read it about it in the news. Some of you have got it as a feed in your Instagrams. But what you need to understand that this actual fact of the matter that this was allowed actually means that they are not really serious about their environmental goals, or as a company this company is like very much driven by corporate strategies, such that it is only steered towards profit, and probably it will never ever reach or go about its climate goals. Why I am saying this, let me make it clear to you. So this guy's name is BrianNiccol, who has joined the company Starbucks as its CEO. And what was his previous credentials? He was also the CEO of Chipotle at one point of the time, and then of Taco Bell. Now, what he happened to do in this particular companies was quite nice. They both went into profits and they did good business. And now, when Starbucks business was actually going downhill, they have hired a new CEO. Now, he has signed on for this project for $113 million remuneration per year, which is quite a hefty lot of money. And he has got a sign on bonus of $10 million. But now, what we need to remember that this money is only the is the big thing, that CEOs deserve high pay, often because of their high risk taking appetite, and the company's success or failure will be pitted on the CEO eventually, and not effectively on how the company has done, at the root level, because it is mostly the leadership that takes the brunt. So if the company does good, he gets more and more money, and if the company gets bad results, it's his seat that is going to get sacked. Now, coming to this point, and why I say that the big companies are not serious about their environmental goals. It's because that in the sign-on contract, he basically, during his agreement negotiation, he negotiated that he is not going to settle in Seattle, where the Starbucks headquarters is, and he's going to actually travel from Newport Beach, California, where his home is, and is going to fly by private jet 3 times a week to Seattle to attend his go to his office, which is a company mandate. Now, we have to first of all question this fact that does he really need to travel all that much, or is it just to set up a corporate culture where even the big boss has to come to the company once every 3 days in a or 3 days in a week is a compulsion? So we have to really keep in mind that at what cost are we mandating this sort of actions? The weird thing about this is that the company has set off a $250,000 annual budget for sponsoring his flights like that. So that means that the board of directors are also complicit in this huge abuse of, first of all, money, and secondly, environmental abuse, because this private jet is going to definitely create a lot of carbon footprint. Now, let me give you a correct estimate, or rather an approximate estimate of what this is going to look like. So I have calculated it for a 1000. So he is estimated to travel around 1000 miles, which is like 1600 kilometers of distance, um, from his home to work. And I have estimated this to be somewhere around a one-way trip is about carries a carbon footprint of about 8 metric ton. And so that means to say that to and fro journey would be around 16 metric ton. And to be alert that this number, maybe let's say someone will argue with me, no, that will be coming to 12 or 14 rather than being 16 metric tons. But one, we have to understand that average human being in their entire year, their carbon footprint is just about 4 metric tons. In countries like India or near about this sort of economy. Whereas in the USA, a person who consumes a lot, their their carbon footprint on an average comes about 16 metric ton per annum. And this guy, because of his frivolous nature, is going to actually create a carbon footprint of almost 16 metric ton per day when he is flying to office. And now note that how much he is going to generate every year. Yes, you are right. He's going to generate almost about 2400 metric tons of carbon footprint in a year because of his travel, of his 3 days per week work week travel to his headquarters. So this is something that we need to keep in mind while they are offering us paper straws to drink from. And I know that we have to keep things sane at our end. Like, we have to be environmentally responsible for sure. But since they can get away with their corporate messaging of being environment friendly by offering us paper cups or paper straws which are biodegradable, whereas their CEO will travel 1,000 mile one way every 3 days per week. This is kind of obscene in some sense. So, and also do remember that when they are charging or when they are actually offering this guy $250,000 of yearly allowance for these flights, you have to keep in mind that this will eventually come out of the customers' pockets. So this is something that we really need to keep in mind while we are fighting for this environment. We have to call out such actions from industry leaders such as this. I am sure, and like in the West, there is already certain movements that actually are driven towards protesting against it. But I am sure that in the short term there will not be any consequences for this rich lords of the universe who are actually ruling this country, because they are ultra rich. But at our end, the environment friendly people that we are, can we boycott Starbucks? Can we boycott until this action or this contractual obligation is revoked? Can we not say that no, we will not have a Starbucks coffee till this particular CEO does not conform to the normal norms and he can work from home? Let's not make him shift to Seattle. He can work from home, and only when there is a board of directors meeting where he needs to be in person. Actually, the board of directors meeting also, he does not need to be in person at the office. Throughout the COVID period, people have done it over Zoom. Let's say in a month, couple of times he can probably come over to Seattle to do his official duties wherever he has to sign, which apparently cannot be done by online, which we know that we have everyone whoever has signed their contracts ever since the COVID has hit knows that contracts also can be signed. Any notifications can be signed by online, by DocuSign or any other things. So this we have to really keep in mind, that such abuse of power, such abuse of strategically is dangerous to the environment, and the rich is getting away with what they are best with. They are getting away with everything they want. So with that message, I want to finish this video. I made this video in English because I wanted to reach out to most of the people who can listen to this particular version of the story. And I think that this event has not been highlighted enough in India, and people are probably off put by this sort of news because they have more serious things to bother about, like the recent incidences or violence against women happening in India and all other things. But I really want people to call out this sort of actions and say that we will boycott um, Starbucks if this sort of behavior is allowed. Let us make some sense go into the ultra rich. With that note, I will end this video. I hope you like the video and the idea of it. Like, subscribe, and please comment your what are your thoughts about it, and please let me know. Thank you so much. Bye bye, and take good care of yourself. Bye.